All right. All right. Hola, guys. ¿Qué paso? How's everyone doing? This is Hala Pablo. Thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to look at XRP for a little bit. I've gotten a lot of requests for XRP, so I just figured I'd do a quick video, kind of knock it out, since it's definitely generated some interest the past few weeks. I think it's pumped like 300% or something like that. So XRP is a hot item for sure, and it warrants some good, solid technical analysis. So what I did here is I got it on the on a 3-hour on the left-hand side and on a 30-minute on the right-hand side, and I've got Elliott wave on the left and Wyckoff on the right. And I've got vertical volume bars in both. I just want to look at it real quick. Someone asked me, should I buy XRP? What's going on with it? Is it going to dump? Is it going to pump? What do you think? So anyway, I said I'd go ahead and do a video on it. So here it is. All right. So I think it's reaccumulating. At first, I thought it was going to distribute, and it could very well distribute from where we are now. But this trading range here, let's look at it on the 30-minute micro here. It is looking like it is a reaccumulation range, and here's why. Here's why. So usually in these reaccumulations, you have the sign of weakness in B mitigating the spring. So we have another sell-off that happens somewhere in the latter half of the range. Everything leading up to that was pretty standard. You have the buying climax, the automatic rally, secondary test, and the sign of weakness in B. And then we came back up, if you notice, and we broke through the anchored VWAP, where it touched the trading range resistance, or TRR, which formed the upthrust, or the UT. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get a brush here. The UT here. And so if you noticed here, when the price action touched the trading range resistance, we had not much, but we had a little bit of supply come in. Usually, now if this is going to dump from here, it normally in the second half of the trading range, the price action doesn't even reach typically this high without substantial supply coming in when it starts to get up around this sell order block zone up here. Here we didn't really see too much supply come in, and yet the price fell, which is normal. The market makers want to keep it within the trading range until they've accumulated enough, and ideally they want to accumulate it at a lower price than up here. And so what they're hoping for when they pump a price, when they pump the value up to the range resistance after a considerable buying climax, like we saw here, we see these two devil horns, and then there was a sell-off. We have people that are still holding. A lot of retail is holding XRP, and so they're hoping that it pumps up and reaccumulates. And so here, this is what they thought it was going to do. So when we had the sell-off, a lot of them sold, and you see a lot of sell-off here. And this is what they're wanting to do. Now, the reason why I think it's going to reaccumulate is we had this deep spring, which mitigated the sign of weakness in B. And I'm going to show you in the macro that this is a pretty common thing in a reaccumulation range. And then, if you notice, it came right back up intra-range again, but it didn't come up as high as it did here after the sign of weakness in B. We notice we came up and we kind of hugged the anchor VWAP, which is placed somewhere around mid-range, or the 0.5 Fibonacci. Here, if you notice, it consolidated beneath the anchored VWAP, whereas this was on the anchored VWAP. This is beneath the anchored VWAP. And this whole area here is a very typical thing. It's a very typical occurrence that we see in reaccumulation ranges, where the price action after a low, well, first it makes a high and then it comes back down and makes a low. Look at the supreme range here from trading range resistance all the way down and beneath trading range support. It's a grand shakeout is what it is, causing the mitigation. Not really a lot of supply, though. You would think that there would be more supply that would be driving this sort of sell-off. So we see all this, we see a huge result in the price action, but not a lot of effort in the volume. So that's an anomaly right there. So that should perk your ears up that maybe this is this isn't going to go the way everyone thinks with the sell-off. So, and then we have this sort of consolidation range between the trading range support line and the anchored VWAP. And here I put Creek. Now, the Creek, those of you who are familiar with Wyckoff, the Creek is a feature in a Wyckoff range where it's a loosely drawn resistance line that goes over the highs. And so in the latter half of this range, we see that the anchored VWAP is serving as a very accurate creek. And so what we're going to look for, and this is, someone said, should I buy here? If the price action in the next few days lingers in this general channel, this channel here, this narrow channel between the creek and trading range support, and suddenly you see the price kind of come up and it, as it were, it jumps the creek, and you see large demand, like this sort of size demand volume spikes, and I'm going to show you on the macro what it looks like, then that is that's a signal. That's usually a buy signal when it jumps the creek towards the end of this range, after the price is consolidated low along in a narrow spread. You see these, the spread is narrow. It's not going beneath support anymore. It's staying within the confines between the anchored VWAP and here. They're keeping it and they're accumulating in this range deliberately. And so in this narrow channel, if you will. And so if they jump up from the creek and you see demand come in and it registers, and you have it both in the vertical bar volume and going up with you have a synergy with the price action, then that is a very good buy signal. And then so like what usually happens is the price will come back up. It'll mitigate this this upthrust in B, and then it'll retest the trading range resistance. And what it's trying to do here is flip it. And if it can flip it to support, then we have a legit markup. And then we can go off we could draw the Fibonacci's. We go off the lows. We'll go off the mitigation point in the lows to the buying climax, bring it back down to the lows, and that'll give us usually a pretty good. Now this has been going up to the 2.618 usually, so I would look anywhere, look at a sale point or to take profit anywhere between $3.90 and $4.20, somewhere up around here if you want to be safe. So, but anyway, that's only if it jumps the creek and then successfully retests TRR. So in the macro, now you remember this mitigation I was talking to you about? This sign of weakness in B comes up to the UT and then comes all the way back down and mitigates or mitigates this liquidity void down here, which is a spring. It's kind of like what it did last time. You could track it in this. See, it did the same thing in this reaccumulation range back in November, where we had the sign of weakness in B. See right here? And then here was the UT, and then it came back down and mitigated. This was the C wave, and so that constituted the ABC correction, or like basically a double bottom, which is this. And then it marked up, You see here, see how it jumped the creek, and then it retested trading range resistance, and then from here it shot up. So this was what you would be looking for, and it caused this wave to go all the way up to past this PSY area and form the range of consolidation where we are right now. So anyway, that's my bias for this. It's looking like it may do it again. If it does, just be ready to buy. But you know what? We pumped 300%. And so this could very well distribute from here as well. The way we know it's distributed is if it never rises above the creek and it continues to hug support line. And then especially if Bitcoin goes down, XRP may follow it. Because XRP is already pumped. I mean, XRP has had a gargantuan pump. And so it could really go either way. But, if you're XRP is something you probably want to hodl. It's not financial advice, but XRP, XLM is one of those finance coins that there's a lot going on with it. And it's got its claws in the government also, I think. So this is one that you probably want to, if it goes down, that's good news because you could buy it deeper. Unless you wanted to swing trade, and then if you could play the momentum on it if it jumps the creek. But if it doesn't jump the creek, it's a great coin to DCA in. So I'm not buying XRP right now. I'm in XLM, but XRP is not something that that I'm interested in. But if it does retrace, like if say it goes the opposite way and it comes back down and begins to mitigate these lows here and here, yeah, I'm probably going to buy, especially if it goes back down to like $1.40 or something like that. I'll definitely be buying XRP along with XLM copiously, aggressively. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. Take it or leave it. Not financial advice. Watch for the jumping of the creek, which would occur around $2.30 with demand volume. And then if you wanted to swing it, yeah, you can make a good at least to the trading range resistance. That's about 12, 13. No, that's 15%. That's a 15% swing. But there's a lot of cryptos that are going to be doing that and more. I believe they're going to outperform XRP because XRP has already had its run, which isn't to say it can't run some more. I'm just saying at some point market makers are going to take massive profit off that. You can't have an unanswered 300% rally and not realize some of those profits, some of those gains. So at some point, they're going to pay the piper on it, and it's going to have a proper retracement. So, but if you wanted the momentum trade and long certain cryptos, I think that there's others that are more advantageous, more fortuitous for safer returns. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. Hope you got something out of it. Subscribe, like if you haven't, and there'll be more on its way. More videos on the way. We're gonna continue to track Bitcoin, and we're gonna continue to track a few others as well. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you guys real soon. All right, guys. Adios. Be safe. Bye-bye.